Kronos is not a lawyer in the States and shouldn't give legal advice. What?
So I'm going to send this over to Kronos now, because he is a lawyer in copyright law.
I am not an attorney, no. I am based in the UK as a lawyer.
No.
There are fundamentally different terminologies here.
No! So you got a guy who's based in the UK.
Bro, you're playing games and making game maker games. Don't act like you work harder than even 1% of our population. I'm a CEO of a company with 17 employees.
Dude, give me a break, dude. You sit there and stream games all day. He thinks he's so based, but he just looks pathetic to anyone that isn't in his wretched cult. Slice of pirate software content here. I guess we'll give it a go and we'll see. It might be stuff we've maybe spoken about already, but this DMCA thing I think has progressed forward, and I think more stuff has happened.
Don't care outside of that. Yeah. No Man's Sky is still buggy as hell. That's neither here nor there. Like, the features that they claimed were in the game when it launched were not there, and I don't trust them, so I need to see that, right? Just like your game, we have an update coming out tomorrow. You would know that if you weren't just a shit stirrer from Reddit and actually played the video game. So, take your account that you made, what is that, 3 days ago? 4 days ago? And get...
Oh, no! Multiple big streamers are confirming that the YouTube reactions to Pirate Software have been mass reported and taken down for harassment and cyberbullying. Here's Quinn69 finding out. Okay.
I got replies from Gary, and there's 8 replies even. It's not just 1 reply. I suspect some weird stuff happened with those videos because one of them is age restricted, which is really weird, and another one is ad limited. I think they got mass flag reported. Really weird that it got age restricted. My suspicion is that mass report and YouTube auto restricts it. I tried to submit a manual review on the same day, but it got rejected. No DMCA, though, so I don't think it's pirate necessarily. It's probably just community or something. Your takes were always very grounded, though. Like, you never personally attacked him. On the contrary, you would defend him when he was getting personally attacked by Joker, for example. So I don't think he has a case for DMCA on bullying, etc. True. True. Interesting. Ellipsis. So they got like Sammy Evan, yeah. Interesting. That was an Elon quote, by the way.
Okay. And then Joker. I think we've seen this one already.
Wait, hold on. Let me click review content to see what got struck down. It's the pirate video. Yeah. Harassment and cyberbullying policy. F. Well, there you go. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Alright. Take action.
Oh, Pirate had a meltdown on stream about this and deleted the VOD. Do you have that by any chance, Shinji?
Because it's your first time, this is just a warning. You can still upload, post, and live stream. Oh, thank you that I still have my YouTube channel. It would have been much nicer if I had... What the hell is this, man? What? If this happens again, you're...
Why would you have a... If it's nothing to do with you, why would you not just say this? This is actually nothing to do with me. If someone is doing this, don't do it. Don't do this on my behalf. But this is definitely nothing to do with me. You know, just to clear that up, whatever. Why would you melt down about it? Why would you not just respond and say it's not you? Like, if you're melting down about it, that would suggest that maybe you have got something to do with it.
Your channel will get a strike and you won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week. What? So if I just get one more strike, I can't even upload videos for a whole week.
Correct. Yeah. Very irritating. Very annoying. So yeah, this isn't even the first time he's well, I should be more specific. This isn't the first time the videos that are critical of him have been flagged under the harassment and cyberbullying policy. There are other videos which go more into the furry aspects and the Second Life stuff that I believe have received the same treatment from YouTube. So the question is, who is it that is reporting this? I think the absolute best interpretation is it's committed people from his community that are doing it of their own accord. And I think I said this the other day. But then in the middle, it's like a group of people that are being led or dictated in some way, possibly by PirateSoftware himself, or it's PirateSoftware himself doing it. Because I don't believe that all these people are getting these same types of actions on their account and it's just a coincidence. That doesn't make sense to me. It makes more sense that there's some level of coordination one way or another around this. I had seen on, I think, Kiwi Farms, someone claim that this Kronos person that PirateSoftware was referring to was from the UK and wasn't an American lawyer and therefore wasn't a good source of information in regards to US specific laws, right? I mean, in the US, it's not just the US, you need to be estate specific. Like, you obviously need to be in a particular state to understand the specific laws and understand how they work, etc., right? So anyway, what, pray tell, is this? It looks like this is confirmation of that. Kronos is not a lawyer in the States and shouldn't give legal advice. What? No way, dude.
All right, so here's the ones between me and my lawyer and Kronos. I am attempting to reach the attorney working under the handle Kronos. I sent him DMs some hours ago and I believe he hasn't seen them. This concerns an actual legal matter and I need to bring the messages to his attention. Hello, not an attorney, just to be clear. He said, oh, very well. I thought Mr. Hall represented a fellow named Kronos as an actual copyright attorney. Do you know whether Mr. Hall has counsel concerning the DMCA takedown? I imagine you were the same individual in the ticket yesterday. Fucking crazy.
Bro. I want to watch more. I need to see these DMs.
The DMCA takedown? I imagine you were the same individual in the ticket yesterday. Fucking crazy. Sounds like it'll sort of stuff out, to be honest. No, it already has. It already has. I'm milking this. It's being milked pretty much.
Based.
What the attorney known as Kronos? What timeline am I in? Yeah. I'm not milking it, but it's like, it's just a fucking, what is it? This is the last bit of information and it's fucking gone. You know what I mean? This is it. That's it. And then it's done. That's my 15 minutes, everybody. And, you know, I gained nothing from it, lost nothing from it. So I lost 2 days off Steam. I gained some wish lists. That's about it. Hi there, this matter was settled yesterday. A user reached out to us and assured us that despite the stated original intent to use Mr. Hall's voice line, they would instead utilize voice acting. As a lawyer, I have an ethical obligation not to speak with someone directly if I believe they are represented, at least not without permission of the person's attorney. Gain publicity, yeah, pretty much. This closes the matter on our end. We're preparing an email now. I assume this was your client. This guy was fucking scared. Sir, respectfully, I'm evaluating claims here. He is now. You may have a F12 problem. F12 is the Lens versus Universal. Which means you have to do due diligence to issue a... Yes.
If you want to file a DMCA, you're legally obligated to consider fair use before doing so. This is, I believe, a Supreme Court decision, I think. But yeah, that's what the Lens Universal thing set like a precedent for, essentially. So, because then if they don't do that, you can then file a lawsuit against them for... Is it torturous interference? Obviously, I'm a total layman. But you can feasibly file a lawsuit against them because they've essentially engaged in an illicit act that has interfered with your business when they shouldn't have done it in the first place, right?
A DMCA claim. So if the content on Steam does not have the content that you're worried about, you cannot file a false DMCA. You cannot take it down. So the whole issue is that Kronos gave shitty information to PirateSoftware and PirateSoftware...
Oh! Dude, wait, so it's even worse than that. It's not even not assessing fair use, it's that you have filed a claim based on content that isn't even in the game. Oh my god. Tortious. I don't know how you say it. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay? I'm not a legal expert, okay? Bro, that is... Oh, my God. That is like... That's going to be a pretty major issue, no? Tortoise interference.
Software issued a DMCA based on that. We have not yet engaged an attorney in relation to the specific matter, given the matter was closed on this before. What information is it that you need from us? If it's grounds under which we submitted the DMCA, we can provide this information. I read the takedown. I do not necessarily disagree. I was doing some game art with your stream in the background, just tuned in, and this is fucking wild, bro. PirateSoftware could be in massive shit because of that bad advice. I'm not pursuing any damages. It would the court costs would outweigh the damages anyways. I'm fucking nobody. So like if anything, I gained from it. You know what I mean? So I'm not pursuing anything. I don't have the money to do it anyways, dude. We're, you know, single family household or a single income family household. I'm a software dev in my for my day job. While I make good money, I don't make a lot of money. You know what I mean? I make enough to live.
Now, guys, I know look, I have been there myself and I get it, right? People are like, you should pursue this legal issue, essentially. The problem is that, yeah, it's very difficult and expensive. So I understand I'm not wanting to proceed with something.
Comfortably with 4 kids, so in child support. Did you do a good faith evaluation for fair use under Lens versus Universal? Look, you're not an attorney. It's all fine. Mr. Hall represented on stream that he had an attorney, specifically individual with the handle Chronos.
And I think this is him doing exactly that, right?
Brandon Ferrantino is developing idle streaming bonanza.
Okay, wait, we need to find the clip of him. We've obviously covered this video already, but it's just to show that he definitely referred to him as like, he made it seem like that was his representation.
PirateSoftware spoke about receiving the counter notice and expressed his intent to sue the developer.
Hey, Kronos, we have to file a legal complaint against that dude earlier. I'm gonna pause this for a moment. There was a dude earlier today that went onto Reddit and said that he was using my voice in a video game, showed a bunch of videos of it, and then put that game up on Steam. A lot of people in the thread told him not to do that, that would end up being a legal problem for him. He did it anyway. So I filed a DMCA claim, and he has now filed a counterclaim against me. We're going to take you to court. You're going to lose. You cannot use somebody's likeness or voice in any way inside of your games without their permission.
Very bullish.
It's a really stupid thing to do. Incredibly so. So I'm going to send this over to Kronos now because he is a lawyer in copyright law. That is his job. Mistake.
Right.
Kronos, we have 14 days to respond to this. Forwarded. Welcome to the finding out timeline, bud.
Brandon Ferrantino.
Bro. And then it turns out this guy isn't even a fucking lawyer. Totally fronting. Totally fronting. Or isn't at least a lawyer authorized to operate in the US. Oh, that's rough, dude.
Excuse me. If he does not have an attorney, you are directed not to correspond with my client. You should correspond with me or directly with me. Everything may work out as you hope and anticipate, but I want to take a close look here. I believe you have conflated a state tort with copyright claim, which is not permissible under DMCA. Furthermore, I believe you did not do a check for fair use and good faith pursuant to Lens versus Universal, which has been the law in the country for over a decade. If you're not familiar with Lens versus Universal, a woman posted a video of her child singing a song to Bad Prince audio, and Universal tried to take that down and sue her for that. The courts weighed in her favor, and then that has been the law ever since. There's 4 categories to check for. Is it
Bro. Yes, the Kandros. Pirate Moldware isn't a real developer and his lawyer isn't a real lawyer. Do you think there's a dynamic where there's a cultivation of like Walter Mitty types in his community? So there's the kind of people that would act like they're like this fucking big time lawyer and they know what they're talking about, because that's exactly what PirateSoftware does, and then it all starts to crumble apart when the pressure starts to get applied. Dude, community of total fakers. Dude, that's so funny.
Transformative enough? Is it educational? Is it parody? I believe something else. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Categories. I've been drinking. Leave me alone.
I've been drinking. This guy's based.
DMCA requirements. Protections. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for.
Got some clips downloading here.
I don't know. But regardless, they did not do their due diligence to check and see if the Lens versus Universal applied. And Mario, whenever I was talking to him, because I was talking to him through all of this, he was like, Kronos has it seems like Kronos has no idea because he stopped talking to him for a minute, whenever he mentioned this shit. But you guys can look this up if you want, if you're, interested. I want to make sure my client is treated fairly enough through the process and make sure all is on the up and up. Using Mr. Hall's voice without permission is not fair use. We discussed and agreed that they would not. And as such, our issue has been lifted. If you were an attorney, I would say you were a bit out of bounds, but you were not. I believe my client believed you were, based on the statements of Mr. Hall on stream. Sir, on what do you base that claim? Is the DMCA takedown lifted yet? I am not an attorney, no. I am based in the UK as a lawyer.
No.
But there are fundamentally different terminologies here.
No. So you got a guy who's based in the UK. Also, yeah, maybe he's using the right lingo, but over here we would use the term solicitor rather than a lawyer. He might have used it earlier. Which is the same thing. A lawyer and a solicitor are the same thing, but it's different terminology. It's just we use a different word for it. But also, yeah, obviously, someone from the UK, what business have you got commenting on American law? It just doesn't work. It's not how it works. You need to deal with a person that is there in the place because they've done the research to know what the fucking rules are and what the laws are. And on copyright law as well, and there's going to be there's going to be differences between the two. It's very country specific. Yeah, exactly. Like Lens versus Universal would be an American precedent, so it wouldn't apply in the UK necessarily. And unless you know American copyright law in depth, you might not even know that that's a thing.
Yes, absolutely. Fair use is similar, but different for you. We will be putting together a report for Steam in the coming days. We have 14 days for this. Ours is constitutional limitations. Talk about 12 days because it was taken out for 2 days. Help UK clients. Say, okay, look, I am going to send Mr. Hall a legal letter because I do not believe he has a lawyer here. I'm going to communicate directly to him. Neither Mr. Hall nor any of his agents may communicate with my client directly. They may only communicate with me directly. I have no reason or intent. Yeah, basically saying you can do it in good faith. As matters already resolved. Is the DMCA lifted yet? Where the email for Steam? We are not emailing your client. Okay, this is bullshit. I knew what they were trying to do. They knew they fucked up to begin with, and they're being fucking petty. And I knew what they were doing. You have 14 days to respond to the DMCA claim. They were going to wait that full 14 days to lift it unless Mario did something. If Mario did not do anything, they were going to wait the last fucking second, the 14 days, man, until my game got back up.
That's crazy. Pathetic.
Waits for a DMCA of the conversation on screen. What? What are you trying to get to? I'm in the UK. In the past, I represented myself in a matter. After it, I wanted to go after solicitor/lawyer because I said he had not done his due diligence. Over here, we're talking word of your client can be due diligence. I think not a lawyer, just an experience. I just kept responding, costing him about $350 for the letter to reply. That's what's up. Saying he's gonna DMCA you, talking about the DMCA. Oh, okay. Goddamn. My brain's fried, dude. If it ain't about certain subjects, I don't know shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, so here they're gonna wait the 14 days to send it. I ain't got no more snoozes for the ad, so I'm gonna go ahead and get blasted through this. I'm going to demand you immediately withdraw, or I may seek changes or damages under Lens versus Universal. That is not a threat. I am investigating the situation, but you are not correct, nor should you be dispensing legal advice. As to the 14 days being an absolute shield to liability, I will send legal correspondence. I do believe my conversation with you is at his end, as you're not an attorney, nor does it seem you have authorized to handle the legal matter for Mr. Hall. I will direct correspondence to him directly. We will be withdrawing the DMCA once we have prepared documentation to do so. We then need to email Steam, the platform which notice filed. I do not know what the process is on there, and I recognize that you'll be sending a letter to Mr. Hall and inform him accordingly. But yeah, and then he added in his little jabs. The lawyer did not like Kronos at all. The lawyer did not like Kronos at all. He hated the fact that he was in the UK and then was giving out legal advice to people in the US.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Then we got the This is what my lawyer sent to.
Oh,
This is what my lawyer sent to
yes.
Pirate Software.
Let's go.
Jason. Mr. Jason. I represent Mr. Brandon Ferentino. As you know, on Monday, January 20th, 2025, you issued a DMCA takedown notice of Valve compelling Valve to remove Mr. Ferentino's media from Steam and precluded Mr. Ferentino from selling his video game on Steam while the takedown is active. At the outset, I note that I do not agree with my client's viewpoint that is critical of you, but the freedom of speech is more important than my personal viewpoint on any given issue. I do believe, however, that your takedown notice is unlawful. I believe you and your team have failed in their duty to, under Lens versus Universal Music Corp., blah, 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 to engage in a good faith analysis of whether fair use applies before issuing a DMCA takedown. I'll have this shit in my Discord if you guys want to read through it all. It's just a bunch of fucking legalese mumbo jumbo that I kind of understand but kind of don't. Basically, it's just saying like, hey, if you don't take down the DMCA notice now, we're gonna
demand to withdraw unlawful DMCA without prejudice. As I explain in more detail below, the takedown notice is objectively not compliant with the law. I therefore ask that you withdraw immediately, i.e. within 24 hours. If you'd like to issue another takedown at a later date, of course you will have the right to do so, assuming that such a subsequent takedown notice is lawfully issued. I believe this will minimize the harm to my client while preserving your procedural rights in the future. In other words, I propose an immediate return to the status quo of Sunday, January 19th, 2025, pending further discussions. If you do not immediately withdraw the DMCA takedown notice, I believe you will incur liability under 512F of the DMCA. The remedy includes not only compensatory damages, but can include reasonable attorney fees. Such fees can absolutely dwarf any compensatory damages by orders of magnitude. I know that although I do not practice in redacted, I have several of colleagues who can serve as local counsel. Fucking hell, dude, he's
we're
going
gonna
in.
sue you. That's basically how it was. And then he like added in his jabs. He's talking about he said this is not an attorney.
Okay, I want to read all this. This is interesting to me. Not an attorney, withdrawal of promises based on misrepresentations. I believe you may have been misled on the law as concerns the DMCA fair use and your obligations. On Monday, January 20th, 2025, you identify an individual under the handle Kronos or Kronos 7 as a lawyer. Or V, I don't know. I think your exact words were, an actual copyright lawyer with particular stress and slow enunciation. My client knew of the statement before conversing with Kronos in Discord. But in my conversation with this fellow tonight, he at first indicated, hello, not an attorney, just to be clear. Later in the conversation, he indicated he was a lawyer in Britain. In the US, the word lawyer and attorney are synonymous. In some other jurisdictions, a lawyer is just anyone who goes to law school, regardless of whether or not they're admitted to practice law. I don't know what it means in Britain. In the US, it would be a violation of the rules of professional ethics to state I'm a lawyer if I'm not admitted to practice law. In his discussions with Kronos, my client believed he was talking to an attorney. This was because of your statements on stream. Right. So basically, this guy spoke to Kronos in good faith thinking he was his attorney, his representation, but he wasn't. I mean, this would be a pretty significant ethics breach, no? Like, you should not be misrepresenting yourself as someone representation. It comes across as very intimidation tactics, doesn't it? In the US, under the rule, they go on to explain. Under the rules of professional responsibility in every jurisdiction, an attorney is not allowed to act dishonestly. The model rule is this. In every state is some version of this rule. Accordingly, when Kronos spoke and represented what the law was, my client took him at his word. Unfortunately, Kronos did not accurately state the law on fair use. Using an actual voice of someone can absolutely be fair use. Look at any reaction video. The test is a 4-factor test, not a per se categorical test. Because any promises my client made were based on these misrepresentations of fact and law, my client withdraws any promises made on January 21st, 2025. Right, so this guy basically panicked. So this guy panicked and he folded without recognizing that it was a kind of intimidation thing going on, essentially, right?
Withdrawal of promise based on misrepresentations. Basically saying that I withdraw my promise to remove Thor's voice or Jason's voice from my game because Kronos is a fuckhead, not lawyer, and misrepresented everything and tried to get pressuring me into removing the voices. The voices are removed anyways. I'm not dealing with all the bullshit. Like I said, if I had money, I'd fucking do it because I'm an asshole. But yeah.
Right, I see. So he's saying he's not going to fight on the voices front. He's going to remove them so he doesn't have to deal with the legal issues. Hence why. Yeah, I get it. But he is pursuing this. He's trying to. Well, I think at the moment, presumably he. I don't. The game went back up, didn't it? Is that right? The game's back up now. But I think he's maybe trying to put legal pressure over the fact that they filed a disingenuous DMCA.
I'll be honest. I am an asshole to a certain extent. If I know you guys, if you're part of here, I'm kind of an asshole, but I'm not an asshole. I don't know. Anyways, but that's all that is. This shit's on the Discord, so you can go check it out. It's also on Substack. We're gonna get back to making it. I gotta hit the bathroom, guys. I'm fucking dying. I'm gonna get another beer too.
Okay. Bro, this guy's so based. Slamming another beer while he's at it. Okay, we got some other stuff here. God, you guys are fucking on one. What is this? More LSF bullshit. Peekaboo showed a screenshot that says it was permabanned, and LSF believes it's real. So desperate. You'll just report that shit for harassment or hate, whatever tickles your fancy. Who is this? Who is Crit? What does this role mean? So this is from his Discord. Is that a mod? To be honest, me and a couple of other people have reported the entire subreddit because at this point it's just a wanted poster for streamers. It's not just thought either. If anyone screws up in some way, they get harassed. I bet you PirateSoftware was absolutely fucking loving it when he was getting praised on there. But the moment he's getting negative attention, all of a sudden it's a very different story. Very different fucking story. Okay, let me just try and figure this out because I did want to have a quick skim through that post that we saw. That looks interesting. Let me just close some of these windows real quick. Okay, let's get rid of that. And yes, this. Here we go. Here we go. The other review outlet and the other Frost. So this is an article about it, right? Here's the original story. Okay. Yeah, so this is the story which we've already seen up to date of this DMCA suit thing, the DMCA thing. To make a long story short, PirateSoftware publicly responded on Twitter to assert its belief that the DMCA takedown notice wasn't unlawful. Mario Siram, the developer's lawyer, replied, "The DMCA you issued was unlawful. You should review the demand letter we sent with an actual US attorney, not a person from Britain who is not admitted to practice law." Mario is referring to PirateSoftware's head mod Kronos, who PirateSoftware described as a lawyer in copyright law. However, Kronos is a British lawyer and not an attorney. From my understanding, in the US... Okay, we've seen this bit already. Used intelligibly. Worth noting, the US and the UK have different free speech laws. Kronos may not be qualified to represent PirateSoftware and make assertions about US law. Okay. So this just goes... Let's go over this quickly because it goes over the key details as well. Brandon Ferrantino posted clips of an in-game PirateSoftware references to Reddit, which we know about already. 2 of the 3 posts used clips of PirateSoftware's voice from his stream. Ferrantino then received the DMCA takedown notice. Ferrantino submitted a report ticket. And Kronos responded. Ferrantino says PirateSoftware's voice is not in the Steam Marketplace version. Kronos says they believe they are well within their rights to file a DMCA takedown notice based on use of voice clips shown in Reddit posts. That's not true. That's not true at all. What is he on about? Bro, it's so obvious they were trying to intimidate him, isn't it? What the fuck are you talking about? If the content isn't in the game that's on Steam, you obviously cannot file a DMCA request because the material you're claiming is your content isn't present in the build. Totally false. Ferrantino asked whether DMCA had the Steam game if it was the Reddit post they had an issue with. Kronos does not respond to that and instead states, under Steam's terms of service, we're able to file this DMCA for the game as it currently stands. Publish builds display this content within the game. You chose to publish that clip. Ferrantino asks, is that a published build? Kronos posts a link to another Reddit that PirateSoftware is now playable in my game. This is an odd thread for Kronos to cite because this one does not have Pirate Software's voice. It's just an image of the wizard roach and the level icon. Ferentino once again states the version of the game with Pirate Software's voice was not published on Steam's marketplace. Kronos responds, "You published a clip of the game to the website and clearly stated that Pirate Software was playable. You've published news about your game about a build. It is a build about which you have published information, footage, or other details." Is this guy even a lawyer? I don't think this guy is even a lawyer or a solicitor in the UK. Like, it's like word salad. There's no way. He's just mumbling bullshit. Looks like you were warned by people on there about this exact outcome. There's no way a lawyer would speak like, a solicitor would talk like this. There's no fucking way. Looks like people warned you. That's not how someone would speak. And also, yeah, it means published to Steam. Because the Steam thing is the thing you're filing your DMCA against. We can and will file legal proceedings based on the use of Clip's voice. You are entirely able to voice out the lines yourself. Right, okay. There's more back and forth between the two, with Ferentino repeatedly interjecting that the Steam Marketplace build does not have Pirate Software's voice in it, and Kronos holding firm that the version exists with Pirate Software voice, and that's enough to justify the DMCA takedown notice. Ferentino incorrectly assumed that he was speaking with Pirate Software's US attorney, took Kronos' statements as lawful representation, and said he would remove the voice lines and voice acting. Okay. Right. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, is this not just like this is clear like an attempt at legal intimidation? Mario sent a support ticket and spoke with Kronos on January 22nd, where Kronos elaborated they were a UK lawyer. Mario, being a free speech defense lawyer in the US, believes Kronos' interpretation of DMCA phase was also false, so Ferentino's agreement was not valid. Furthermore, Mario believes Pirate Software sent a false DMCA takedown notice for not doing his due diligence in accordance with Lens Reese's Universal, and the DMCA, which could put Pirate Software in a 512F problem. Believing Pirate Software did not have an actual US attorney representing him, Mario redirected his communication to Pirate Software directly, and we've obviously read this already. Okay, and then we got the letter, which again we've read already from the streamer going over it. January 22nd, Mario sent a formal demand to Pirate Software to withdraw his takedown notice within 24 hours. In the letter, Mario states his belief that the takedown notice was unlawful, which we've already gone over. Informs Pirate Software is right to send another takedown notice if he would like, provided it was lawfully issued. Okay. Mario also elaborates that using someone's likeness can indeed get you sued for misappropriation of likeness, dependent on the state that you're in. He cites 2 cases where a celebrity sued, and one against corporations using their likeness in advertisements. Yeah. Ah, that's the other important point too. So this is misusing it. Because if you're claiming you're being misappropriated for your likeness, that's not something the DMCA is there to deal with. That's another thing that you need to file. But the important thing he notes is that a claim of misappropriation or likeness is not the same thing as a claim of copyright infringement. It is illegal to use the DMCA for anything other than copyright infringement. Well, because if you think about it like this, if I took a picture of a celebrity, that's my material, that's my copyright material because I've taken that picture on my device. But then if I took that image and then I put it on an advert and I said, you know, fucking, I don't know, what's a celebrity? Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy loves gok salad, okay? You couldn't say that that's a breach of his copyright because it's my image that I've used, but it is a misappropriation of his likeness for commercial purposes. So that's the difference, right? It is illegal to use the DMCA for anything other than copyright infringement. Such abuse can inure this liability. And then Lens Universal, which we already know. Mario elaborates his involvement was because he assumed Kronos was a US attorney, acting unethically and bullying a small developer. Pirate Software was spreading free speech misinformation to thousands of people, intentional or not, and because the developer was considering going ahead with using voice clips or voice actor for the game. Pirate Software did not respond, but the DMCA takedown was withdrawn. So this action here then led PirateSoftware to take it back, presumably because he was concerned about the legal threats coming in, right? Okay, so there we go. Anyway, we don't need to read over all of this. I feel like we get the gist of all of this so far, right? Yeah. Okay. I think we get the gist of that. Due to PirateSoftware's silence, Mario... Oh, there's more. Jesus, there's more. There's more. Maybe... Oh, fuck it. Let's read the letter. Let's do it. Fuck it. I'm enjoying this. So we've read some of this already. We've obviously looked at a bit of this earlier. So we've got this. We've got the misrepresentation of attorney. Governing under lens, which we've seen. Good faith consideration, which we've talked about already. Although on stream you alleged to have considered and rejected fair use, it seems you did not apply the substantive law of fair use under any reasonable understanding of American law. You might have applied the law of another jurisdiction. What is not the governing law of fair use in the US? Based on your statements in stream and based on statements by Kronos and Discord with my client and myself, it seems there is a mistaken belief that using someone's actual voice or likeness is per se a copyright violation and not fair use. Well, without the law, that would mean that every reaction video is infringing and not fair use, all of them. Obviously, that is not so, and any competent lawyer would not say so. Hey! Loves a react video, based. Now, using someone's likeness can sometimes constitute the state tort of misappropriation of likeness. That varies by jurisdiction and circumstance, and then cites a bunch of case law, or whatever you call it. But a claim of misappropriation of likeness is not the same as a claim of copyright infringement. It is illegal to use DMCA
that's wonderful. But how do
for
I
anything
make
other than
money
copyright
off
infringement.
depressed people?
Thank you for the $5 New Zealand dollars. Appreciate that. Very generous. Thank you. Under American law, fair use involves an analysis of four principal factors and some ancillary considerations. I offer a brief analysis to illustrate looking solely at the use of a clip of your actual voice. The most important factor is the purpose and character of the use. Here, the use is plainly transformative. The voice clip from your stream becomes a work of criticism in another medium. You're a public figure with accolades, awards, and millions of followers, and your work adds to a public discourse about you. It is not a work emanating from you like your stream does. Second, how much of the work was used or how substantial is the portion used. This is not the case of spoiling the identity of a murderer in a book review, and less than a minute of material was used from a substantially longer prior work by you. Third, there was no effect on the potential market value of your original work. It's not as though people were going to switch from your stream to these snippets in a new work instead. Although the new work will obviously generate revenue, that is the case with many projects like reaction videos as well. Fourth, as to the nature of the copyrighted work, there is a mix of factual and creative elements at play. Principally, the original work was factual, documenting an event that occurred, and the new work was a creative use of parts of the original work to criticize. Do you know, I've been reading a bit about copyright stuff recently, and that's another, obviously with the walk-by thing, right? And that's the other aspect of this too, is like someone making a statement about something that happened on stream is factual. That's factual use of work. And it's a different aspect to taking a fictional work. Like if you were taking someone's factual statement, or not factual, but like it's them making a statement. It's them making a statement about something that happened. It's a real event. Do you see what I mean? So that's probably how this would be classified too. Like a stream is not like Lord of the Rings. A stream is an event that is occurring. It's like a factual thing. You are saying the words on the stream or something like that. Do you see what I mean? Which is the case for the Morgpie thing. Principally, the original work was factual, documented event that occurred, and the new work was a creative use of parts of the original work to criticize. There are definitely creative aspects in the original work, yet live streaming has an ephemeral, spontaneous character, unlike a carefully, deliberately produced creative work. I call this factor something close to a wash. Yeah, I think that, you know, a stream is not the same as, like, even like an edited video. I think, you know, because, yeah, interesting to think about it, though. 3 of the 4 factors slant decidedly in favor of fair use, and 1 is a wash. Other considerations like exposure and premeditation might slant against fair use, but on the other hand, there is no deception like plagiarism, which slants in favor of fair use. Under lens, it is not that your analysis would have been identical to this brief example. It is that similar kind of such analysis must be undertaken in good faith before issuing a takedown notice. That wasn't done here. Note that the DMCA takedown you issued was to a business in Bellevue, WA. This is within the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and accordingly, lens applies. Your British colleague should know this. The DMCA is a US law. Constitutional restrictions on UH statutes applied to DMCA and fair use is a First Amendment doctrine. I don't know where you got bad advice, Mr. Hall, but I believe you got really bad advice, and you have my genuine sympathies if a lawyer has misled you. Dude, this guy's going in. Dude, this guy's not holding back. He's popping off. Representation considerations. The reason I got involved was because I thought you were represented by a lawyer Kronos, and I saw that lawyer doing unethical things incompatible with the rules of professional ethics. He seemed to be a bully with a law degree, doing all the wrong things and hurting free speech while he was at it. As you sometimes put it, I was going to absolutely eat his lunch. Wait, what's this?
Joy Swift, I was in the middle of a rant. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the rating party of 134. How are you doing? What were you doing? Tell me about it, dude. Yeah. And you can go vote on this. Go vote on this. Yeah, I fought for the category. I fought for the category for a year, dude. I fought for the category for a year. I became a meme. It went on livestream fail like twice. It went viral on livestream fail of people making fun of me because there was one where I gave this big impassioned rant about how we should have a game dev category. And then at the end, Shay walked in and gave me chicken tendies. And I went, ooh, chicken tendies. And then that immediately hit livestream fail. It was funny.
Wow. So loves the positive attention, but can't handle the negative attention of livestream fails. Like every other fucking streamer going. How chungus. But no, it's so funny how these people lose their shit when they're getting shit on, but then when it's positive, it's like, oh yeah, livestream fails is great actually. Happy for the positive attention, but hate the I mean, it's fine to not like the negative attention, but not liking it to the point where there's, you know, calls in your Discord to mass report posts is crazy. That was my plan until I found out he's an attorney. You don't actually have an attorney yet. I also saw statements by you on your stream that were incorrect statements of the law of free speech. Many people look to you for guidance in their lives. I do too on occasion. I respect the effect you have on your audience. So part of my personal wish here is in sincere hope to correct any misstatements of the law, because if people believe the freedom of speech is more than it really is, in practice the freedom is diminished. My client has indicated to me that he shares his position. As I said, I do not agree with my client's viewpoint that is critical of you, but free speech matters more to me than my personal views. Steps going forward. I imagine you may have wishes about possible use of your vocal likeness. I imagine you may retain counsel. You are, however, welcome to contact me to try and talk it out and see whether and to what degree we could become to a mutually agreeable resolution. I believe we can. There are many reasons why you may not want to call me. I can only say that 1. I believe you have been unfairly misled on the law. 2. I do have a record of resolving things peaceably vis-a-vis Steam and social media and my pro bono work. A couple of cases you're free to check out are the case I did for Goat and the Rimdeed case. So this guy's done this before then. He's tried to find peace. He's worked pro bono to find mutually agreeable resolutions on these issues. That's pretty cool. You're not the government, and you don't have a lawyer yet, so although you have considerable resources, I'm sure I have absolutely no interest in being a bully in this. And I genuinely respect you for what you do for younger people. My personal cell phone is this. This case does not involve my work at my job, thus this letter is not on a firm letterhead. Nonetheless, you can try and reach me at work here. I'm infrequently on Discord when my idea is this, but you can make arrangements if you wish. My private email is this, and my work emails are redacted and redacted. I give you my consent to record any conversations we have together until we mutually agree in writing that this matter is resolved. If you do choose to retain counsel, which you should always seriously consider, you should have your attorney call me right away. I believe some good faith negotiations will go far here. Damn, this guy's a fucking legend. This guy's an absolute legend, isn't he? Pro bono work, trying to help this fucking small developer. And also, I know that people want more pirate software hate, and he is getting some jabs in, but he's actually being fair to pirate software too by saying, like, you've clearly been misled about this. You've clearly got bad information. Due to pirate software's silence, Mario sent a follow-up letter on January 30th, so we're getting more up to date now. Pirate software is free to ignore the letters and free to pursue a lawsuit if he wishes, but the purpose of the follow-up was to note that Mario and Ferentino reached out in good faith to have a discussion about the use of pirate software likeness in Idle Stream and Bonanza, in a good faith attempt to avoid possible litigation or future claims. Mario believes that Ferentino's limited usage of pirate software's video clips or voice impressions would fall under fair use. He cites a case in which free speech's constitutional limits were extended to state torts, another case in which fair use is applied to misappropriation of likeness cases, and another in which fair use for misappropriation of physical and vocal likeness is in a video game's context. So it talks about the letter being sent. First, thank you sincerely for enjoying the DMCA. My client is still exploring whether to incorporate your vocal likeness in a work critical of you, the video game on Steam. We believe in good faith this work would fall under the bounds of fair use under federal and state law, precluding liability for misappropriation of vocal likeness. I've already explained why we believe fair use applies to copyright. For substantially similar reasons, we believe fair use precludes liability for misappropriation of likeness. See Hustler versus Falwell. Okay, what, dude? This... I'm just going to assume he's onto something here, okay? This is way too much. I don't know what any of this is. Comedy 3 Productions versus Gary Sadarup. And also see The Romantics versus Activision Publishing. Okay. Fucking hell, dude. He's cooking. Along that vein, in my previous letter, I've invited you to discuss this situation with us. We have not heard from you yet, which of course is your right. If we do not hear from you by Thursday, February 6th, we will take that to mean that you decline to discuss the situation with us. We know only that we have reached out in good faith to have a discussion about the use of your likeness in the context and scope, in a good faith attempt to avoid possible litigation or future claims. Oh, The People versus Larry Flint. Yeah, I think I watched a bit of that movie before. Hasn't it got tits in and stuff? What happened there? Okay, let's not get sidetracked. If we can provide a quick summary in chat, then I'll go with it, but we'll leave it at that. Third, in about a week, my client intends to publish a video on or stream or both about the situation that began about 10 days ago and its development and resolution. I asked my client to hold off until the situation stabilized, but he has received an enormous amount of questions in the interim. If you have a statement you would like to have included, I'll do my best to ensure your position is represented in the most charitable light possible. If we do not hear from you by this date, we will take that to mean that you decline to comment on the situation, which is of course your right. As I said previously, I do not share all my clients' opinions about you, but I believe very strongly in protecting opinions I do not agree with. I genuinely respect the work you do for younger people, your charity work, the work you do with Ferret Rescue, and that you pay your support staff well and give them substantial benefits. Anything you do wish to discuss, here is my cell. It gives the contact details again. Finally, thank you once more for your prior prompted withdrawal of the DMC notice. Very truly yours, Mario. Ooh. Uh-oh. So there we go. So it seems like Mario is being actually genuinely reaching out in good faith to try and reach a resolution. Let's see what happens now. Oh, damn. January 30th. Pirate Software responded to my Twitter post with this public tweet. The DMCA was absolutely not unlawful. We filed a DMCA in response to the developer claiming that he put my voice in his video game in a playable build, and he showed evidence of this on video via a Reddit thread. He was told by many others that doing this was not legally advisable and decided to move forward anyway in another thread he made about this here. When we filed the DMCA, he then went on to state that this was all bait in an effort to boost his game. You can see this on his YouTube video here. We took down the DMCA notice as he reached out and stated that he would be voice acting the lines instead. You're spreading misinformation in a biased form to generate views. We've handled this through the legal route as appropriate. And then, yeah, this post here, which we've just more or less read. Okay. Let's finish this off. And then I think there's some clips to look at of him crashing out about all this, which should be fun to watch. What strikes me as odd is that PirateSoftware has a background in game development and asserts, or Kronos asserts for him, Reddit posts from an indie developer are proof of the existence of a live Steam build. Game development is an iterative process, and it's common to have multiple different versions of a game. Anecdotally, I speak with a lot of indie developers who show off their personal builds on Reddit or Twitter, but it doesn't always make it to the live client. Personally, I take issue with Kronos' interpretation that a screenshot or video of a personal build counts as a published build that could be hit with a DMCA takedown. This interpretation would put PirateSoftware's own game Heartbound at considerable risk for false advertising, as he streams and publishes VODs of himself fiddling with his personal build of the game. But neither Kronos nor I are US attorneys, so what do we know? If one is to consider misappropriation of likeness for advertising, then that's its own thing, but not specifically copyright infringement, so the DMCA takedown is still unlawful. If one is to consider false advertising, then that's a consumer problem settled by different means, although it'd be interesting to see where a court draws a line between shitposting and advertising. I see. So you could make the argument that he's illicitly using his voice to market his game. That is an argument you could make, but that's not the DMCA that settles that. There are multiple steps PirateSoftware could have taken before hitting the nuke button. That's the issue. There's no such thing as a preemptive DMCA takedown notice on a work that doesn't exist on the Steam marketplace. There are cease and desist letters which warn someone that they may potentially be doing something illegal and that you'll sue them if they go through with it. There's also the option of personally reaching out to the creator. If the Reddit posts were an issue, then ask the moderators to take them down or send DMCA takedown notices if you are so convinced. I reached out to the moderators of Livestream Fails, and the head moderator informed me that, as far as they were aware, they had no direct contact with PirateSoftware or any of his moderators or anything to do with the subreddit. I did not hear back from the moderators of the indie game subreddit where the other posts were made. If one is to consider the trolling and baiting angle, it's still an unlawful DMCA takedown because he didn't do his due diligence under Lens versus Universal. The point of the due diligence is so you don't send false DMCAs. I personally have no taste for the game's aesthetic and theme, but I believe the creators making whatever they want, within reason. Parody and criticism falls within my zone of reason. That's my reason for investigating the matter, not to spread misinformation in a biased form or generate views. Wow, what a write-up. Holy shit. That is insane. So, with that in mind then, let's have a little dig in here. So I've got some clips here, which hopefully, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 clips here, which I believe are from this deleted VOD, if I'm to understand this correctly. Oh, okay. So just to confirm something earlier, this crit person is just a sub. They're not a moderator, okay? To be fair to all. To be fair, the server as a whole, mods Redroll came in to defuse the situation after. It's time to move on. Okay. So not a moderator. This doesn't seem to be behavior that is being sanctioned by the moderation team. So just to confirm that. I wasn't sure, but we must be fair in all cases. Okay. Hope this goes to court. So many people are unaware false DMCA filings are illegal, but nobody ever gets punished for it because it's a civil issue and taking some of the courts isn't worth it. Well, I believe that this Morgpie one is illegal. I think that's illegal as well. But, you know, what am I supposed to do about that? Apart from email and ask them to retract it. Which they still haven't responded to, by the way. I sent some very kindly, nicely worded emails. And, unfortunately, I've been ignored. Tragic. Right, anyway, what are these clips then? Let's have a little look.
How do you manage combining gaming with the work you have? A method? Yeah, so I stream for 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. After the stream, I go and work on other stuff, usually to the tune of about 16 hours each day. Outside of that, on the 2 days
You're streaming 12 hours and then working another 4 on top of that. Bullshit, motherfucker. There's no way, dude.
I have off, which is Wednesday and Thursday. I do 3 hours of time for myself on those days, and the rest of the entirety of that 13 hours is spent working on things outside of that. So, like, not streaming, just working. And that's it. Yeah. No, I haven't heard of that, Tarmac. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, this character is not the mayor. No, that's my other character. That's why his name is Spud. Any exercises to stay fit? I walk my dogs. That's about it. It seems too much work for you. Not for me. I prefer my life. What is this? Oh, wait. Here's another one of these weirdos. Let me see. Bro, you're playing games and making Game Maker games. Don't act like you work harder than even 1% of our population. I'm a CEO of a company with 17 employees.
Dude. Give me a break, dude. You sit there and stream games all day. Come off it, man. You've got a cushy little life. Stop fucking coping. And also this narrative. Your game's not been made for years.
I work 16 hours a day.
No, you don't. There's no way.
I have to manage all of those employees across all of the different states and countries that they live in to make sure that we are fully legally compliant across all of them.
Yeah, okay, dude.
If you think that is not work in some way, you're insane. Yes. I'm also the director of strategy for Off-Brand Games. As a side job.
So where are you fitting that in exactly? Dude, this is so obviously insanely overstated. All of it. So how are you fitting all that in as well then? He actually released an update to his game recently. It's on a private branch. You have to join his Discord to get the password for. Yeah, but I think that was in response. All these new updates are in response to criticism, I think.
If you'd like to continue, we can keep having a conversation about it. But I work my ass off, kid.
Oh!
Insane behavior.
I work my ass off, kid. Oh, it's so pathetic, dude. This guy. Bro, Card was so right about this guy, wasn't he? In terms of, like, he's got such a cushy existence and he acts like he doesn't. The quality's a bit low, so...
Why are you so much more angry these days? You would be too if you had 30,000 people from Reddit all showing up saying the exact same phrase over and over again and getting banned.
Blink, 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 blink. Manage him. Dude. Manage him. Bro, this guy's... Oh, it got 30,000 people. Yeah, dude, because you're a fucking loser and people are mocking you now.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different accounts. Force him to be irritated when it's just yet another Redditor coming in and saying the exact same phrase that he copy-pasted and didn't come up with himself, asking for the exact same information over and over again, and we have to constantly ban them. We've been doing it for about 15 days now. There have been about 30,000 bans from this.
Guess what? That wouldn't be happening if at the start, or even a week ago, you'd have just said, do you know what, guys? I roached. Yeah. Get your jokes out the way. Come on, manage him. Haha. This wouldn't be a problem. Well done for letting everyone know what gets to you, I guess.
Entire time. It is absolutely obnoxiously stupid to watch. So yeah, of course I'll be irritated about that. Anyone would be. And to think that you wouldn't be is insane, to be honest with you. Yeah.
No, most people roll with the punches and have a laugh about that sort of thing. Particularly when it's such a low-stakes thing like manage em, blink, blink. Dude. Running, or whatever. Make it your meme, exactly. Yeah, there's another person in OnlyFans that got accused of being a roach, and they twisted it to like some funny, hilarious meme, and it constantly gets brought up, and they've got a little emote for it.
Someone is out for a Pirate Caravan? Cool. So soft, so banned. It's like... That's exactly the kind of person I don't want in our community, man. Like, If you don't understand the difference between giving someone criticism and just shit stirring, you shouldn't be here. And I'm fine with getting rid of you. Always will be.
It's such an anti-social take as well. Another streamer made this point too, but it's like, you know, who here has got a group of people that they play video games with, right? And then off the back of that, who here has got like a meme or shared lore that you have where something happens and it's like a thing that's happened before and you mock your friend for it and you all have a laugh about it? Do you know what I mean? It's like when I play with Pan, because, you know, often I'll be dropping a bit later on Warzone, say, and Pans will drop by himself and be fighting like a bunch of people, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to go somewhere else. It's too much risk. And he's like, where are you going? No! And it becomes a joke. And you laugh about it. And it's funny. But he hasn't got that social aspect. He's like very fucking... He's like a total oddball. So he can't hack that. And he can't have like that shared meme and that shared kind of like mentality. There's no jokes allowed. Exactly.
You think if I would lighten up on the criticism, things wouldn't be so toxic? How would you feel if people were swatting you constantly? What if they were calling your family and telling them to kill themselves? What if they were constantly sending you mail or thousands of messages online?
So pathetic, man. So pathetic. Oh, but I'm getting doxxed. Oh no. Come off it, dude. Total victim narrative. Utter victimhood. Come off it.
Or telling your moderators to kill themselves thousands of times per day. What if every day, all day, you got that everywhere that you went? Would you lighten up on them? They can go fuck themselves.
Even if there's people that are taking it too far. Okay? Diamol, Managem, Rank 1 Blizzard 1, Rank 1 Frostnova, Polymorph, the Diamol Disaster of 2025 Cockroach. Dude, that's such a good meme. There's still people that are being, you know, banter. It's more banter. And you're banning them too because you're a pathetic, worthless little loser who can't handle the smallest bit of mockery.
And that's how that should be. And anyone that defends that kind of behavior is a dog shit human being. Don't forget that.
Right.
Idiot ass.
He thinks he's so based, but he just looks pathetic to anyone that isn't in his fucking wretched cult.
Is it true you cheated in your speedruns? You mean because people saw me look at my phone? You know I have 3 monitors, right? If I wanted to cheat during a playthrough of a puzzle game, I would just look at another monitor. Insane people.
He keeps responding to it too. He can't just ignore it. Listen, I get one guide a lot, okay? I get it. But like, when it's over, like you can't. How are you getting one guide on something that happened, in some cases, weeks ago? That's insane. Absolutely perfect, dude. This is his behavior is just absolutely primed for people to mock him and shit.
You know, not everything is shortened as an acronym. What? They said ROS instead of Ruins of Cephalon. That is an acronym. And that's what that is. Because an acronym is an abbreviation. It's formed from, like, the first letter of each word. That's what an acronym is. No, that's an acronym. Okay, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to go to Google.
I don't think that's what an acronym is. Oh, God, I don't know what the difference is, but there's something else for when, like... Oh, he's going to show it. Someone in chat say... Do you know what's so funny about this, right? Is I have to help my kids with their homework, right? And you would think, oh, that's easy. You know, English homework for a 7-year-old, that's straightforward, right? But then, when you actually look it's like a bunch of shit you haven't thought about for years. And it's like, what's an adverb? And I'm like, oh my, dude, I've not, bro, I just speak language. You don't think about what a fucking adverb is when you're, 38 years old. And so you got to look it up. I got to be honest with you, sometimes, particularly if it's been going on for a little while and I get bored, I'm like, don't worry about it, son. Let's just use a calculator. Maths homework, forget it. Calculator time. Boom, there we go. That's that. Right, we're done. No, I wasn't too. So yeah, right. So people in chat are saying an acronym is a when you can say it, like Spectre or Shield.
Okay, that's
Shield
wonderful.
is an acronym.
But how do I make money?
And it's something else when it's the initials.
Freeman what an adverb is.
But like CIA is not that. It's something else. Initialism. Is that what it's called? Initialism.
Acronym. An abbreviation formed from the initial letters of other words and pronounced as a word.
Wait, that isn't. Wait.
You know, not everything is shortened as an acronym.
Abbreviation?
What?
What?
They said ROS instead of Ruins of Cephalon. That is an acronym.
No, it's not. Because you don't say Ross. You don't say Ross, you say ROS. He's wrong. That's not what... No, he's wrong. Okay, he's wrong. He's confidently wrong.
Money off depressed people.
PirateSoftware's uncle also works at Nintendo.
Oh,
he
dear.
taught him everything he knows. Everything.
Abbreviation is shortening something. People are saying initialism. I think we've got a different word for it in the UK, but I can't think of it because I'm an utter moron. Yeah. Yeah. It is initialism. Oh, there we go. Look. There we go. Perfect. Acronym versus initialism. What's the difference? An acronym is a type of abbreviation formed from the initial letters of a multi-word name or phrase and is pronounced as a single word. Examples include NASA and radar. An initialism is also created from the initial letters of a phrase but is spoken as individual letters. For example, FBI or ATM.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
ATF,
money
etc.
off depressed people?
Okay. Got it. There we go. Boom. Well done, English people. I mean, I didn't know, but then to be so bro, this guy's whole thing is being confidently wrong about something, isn't it? And then coping when he gets exposed. Let me guess. He gets exposed that he's wrong, and he copes, and he tries to act like he's actually correct. That's what's going to happen here.
Yeah, that's what that is. Because an acronym is an abbreviation. It's formed from, like, the first letter of each word. That's what an acronym is. No, that's an acronym. Okay, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to go to Google. Acronym. An abbreviation formed from the initial letters of other words and pronounced as a word. ROS. Acronym.
Cope laugh.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off
Bro.
It's a three-letter acronym. That's an acronym.
Dude, literally in the face of it. This is a post from the Kiwi Farms about it. Someone's cut this off already without the names. So I don't know what the Google result in question. Dude, oh my god, look.
Showing pictures that match.
Whoa! Pictures of what? What the fuck was that?
Why are you like this? Are you guys still having an argument about acronym versus initialism?
Oh!
Insane.
Soy Sauce with 20 Canadian dollars said,
It literally
"What's up,
doesn't
man?
matter.
Been watching your YT shorts for a month or so and haven't caught a stream until now."
It literally doesn't matter. Now you're wrong, it doesn't matter. Seriously? You guys are talking about this thing that I was embarrassingly wrong about and couldn't take an L on? Oh my god. And you know what, Jason? You're right. It doesn't matter. What does matter is you doubling down with a smug, condescending attitude despite having the most obvious information in the world right in front of you, telling you that you may be wrong on some inconsequential grammar trivia. Very cool. Yes. Exactly. What does it matter in the grand scheme of things? Bro, being wrong is funny. Being exposed as being wrong, especially when you're confident, is funny and a humbling moment. Where you go, oh shit, you know, you laugh about it, bro, but he can't laugh at himself. And this final clip here. Yeah, you just say, "Oh, I was so certain, I didn't realize. Damn, so it's actually different. Okay, cool. Boom, and then it's done." But you can't do it.
Fighters so busted in the best ways. I know. Squish. Average game dev after taking early access money. We released an update for Heartbound yesterday. Average chatter that doesn't know what he's talking about went to Reddit, learned his entire opinion off of.
Wait, sorry, I got distracted.
Fighters so busted in the best ways. I know. Squish. Average game dev after taking early access money. We released an update for Heartbound yesterday. Average chatter that doesn't know what he's talking about went to Reddit, learned his entire opinion off of Reddit. And then
Sensitive.
How's that going for you? Insane behavior, dude.
Ooh. Oof. Bro. But they're right. They're absolutely fucking right about that, though. Like, it is just true that he has completely fucked up in terms of this game, and he spent years and years doing it. And I'm fairly confident the only reason now that he's done any sort of update is because of the public pressure, I think. Anyway, there we go. There's some more clips from PirateSoftware. And I think that brings to an end my coverage of the situation. Bonus.
Stop. That's a segue.
It was a joke.
Oh, sorry. I kind of.
It was a joke about PirateSoftware.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what? Fuck PirateSoftware. That's all I gotta say about that.
Oh,
Okay.
Yo.
You know what? Like,
Yeah.
like honestly,
I do want to say, last week I was saying I don't really get why people are so mad now.
I like Thor. I think he's great, but it's funny to talk about the drama.
no.
I don't have an issue with him, and I
Bro. Getting it in there, isn't he? The little co-roach.
still don't watch the clips, but over time it's like, okay, I kind of get where people are like.
I can see why people are mad. Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh man, this guy.
This
little roach. PirateSoftware. Oh, you want to call him Thor? Yeah, you can call him Thor. This guy has the audacity to flame Moon, act like he's such a good mage.
Flame Moon?
Yeah, he flamed Moon. You remember when Moon was like, I'm already out in that dungeon with Julia, and Julia's like, I'm fucked. Yeah, he was like, oh, this is why I run the Blizzard build, to, avoid situations like this. I can't believe he didn't have it. And then, he has the audacity to talk like this. Oh, I worked at Blizzard
what's the Blizzard build?
Oh, it's like you get...
Bro, dude, Asmongold is such a fucking wretch. He obviously defended him hard and sweat for him initially because he's friends with him. And now he's like, doesn't want to contest this and doesn't want to get in any sort of disagreement here. So he's just like, yeah, talk shit about him all you want. And you're exactly right. He was being heavily critical of people that were mad with PirateSoftware. And now it's like, I understand, I get it. Dude.
Improve Blizzard.
So there's two points in the Mage Frost talent tree that improve Blizzard. Each point gives it a negative 35%.
I thought you meant Blizzard like the company. Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, sorry, a little confusing.
Okay, not the ability.
It makes Blizzard slow targets massively.
Yeah, well, I thought you meant Blizzard because I know PirateSoftware.
Well, I don't know why you would think that because you said improved Blizzard.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that's why I said what's improved Blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. He just has the audacity to talk all big and tough. Then he gets caught cheating in Outer Wilds. cheating in whatever other game.
Yeah,
looking at
so
his
so
phone,
what,
like,
what happened there? Like, why
Yo.
did people think that?
oh, because
Dude. In the deep of Dire Maul, every man for himself, mage cannot save you. Blink, blink to the door of light. Bro, these crack me up, man. Is this what people have been posting in his chat? Don't do that. That's bad.
I guess what was it? Like,
I
they
love
just
Blink
figured
Blink.
it out. Like, because it was
I
like,
love that.
apparently in Outer Wilds, there's a puzzle that requires like 50 people to solve. And then he was like, give me a second. He looks at his phone. He's like, I have an idea. And then he just figures it out. Right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like they deep dived into it because of all like everything that's being dug up. They've just been digging up everything on him.
Oh,
So now they found out that like there's no way he could have possibly figured this out on his own. So, you know, he got caught cheating there. And then I don't know if did you see the whole thing with his like PoE2 build? Like he just magically just had the best build. And he was like, yeah, you know.
Was he playing a monk?
No, he was playing Witch. The Witch build.
Oh, it's probably just the worst version of my build.
Yeah, the Witch firewall build. And he was acting like he just, you know, figured it out all by himself. And I mean, sure, maybe you can like magically stumble upon like the best build, but it was just it's not realistic after everything he's done. Anyways, all that aside, this guy's I can't even call him a rat. He's a roach.
Okay.
He's a roach.
Yes.
That is what he is.
A roach.
He's a roach.
Get his ass.
With a giant ego. He's a goddamn narcissist.
Yes.
And he needs to get an ego check.
Yes.
Okay? I feel like it's not enough. He needs more of an ego check.
I am looking forward so much to watching the 30-minute video dissecting his Animal Well playthrough, but I just haven't really had time because I've been busy watching other drama videos.
Oh,
And so, yeah, I know.
Come on, dude. You issued a... It's so funny. This dude was... you know, if he didn't cover any of it, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. You don't have to cover anything you don't want to cover. That's up to you. The fact that this motherfucker was banging on about this, was shitting on the other guy from the dungeon, Yamoto, was absolutely fucking tearing Yamoto to shreds over this, saying he wasn't going to let him talk on stream, okay, and goes super hard to bat for the guy, and then as stuff really starts to look bad for him, all of a sudden he's busy covering other drama. Give me a fucking break, dude. It's very obvious that, you know, he's not wanting to watch those videos. And I wouldn't care if he covered none of it. That's fine. He's got no obligation to cover anything. But like, bro, you clearly were invested in defending this guy. And then when the tide turns and you can't and everyone's now against him, all of a sudden it's other stuff you're interested in. Give me a break, dude.
No, I'm gonna have to get around to it. Maybe tonight I can, cuddle up with a little food and snacks, and oh boy, here we go.
And that's all you, Asman. That's all you, man.
No, I know. I'll eventually watch it, but to me, whenever I heard that he was cheating in his playthrough, I actually got PTSD, and the reason why is because when I played Dark Souls 1 and 3, people kept thinking that I was cheating and looking things up every time I would go to the bathroom. And so whenever I first...
Like looking what up? What is there to look up?
like where to go?
Oh, would you just figure out where to go after coming back from the bathroom?
Usually, or I could just read it in chat. There's going to be somebody saying, go left, go left.
Chat,
yeah, and so eventually you're going to see somebody say it.
Yeah,
but
it's mostly linear.
He also kind of ducks the content nuke. What, Asmongold? Why would Asmongold do that? I thought he had a debate with Disarm recently, no? That's weird.
Anyway.
And occasionally, by the way, I didn't fuck up and I actually do the right thing. Imagine that. And
I mean, thank you for the super chat. I can understand that. He got banned over it. Maybe he's a bit sensitive about it. I'm not that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with him not covering that. I don't think that's the problem. I understand maybe he doesn't want to get into it because of his recent ban and stuff, or whatever the case would be. Yeah, I don't know. I just think we do need to be careful that we're not like, you must react to this thing. You must react to this thing that I care about. You must react to it. I think there's got to be a good argument or a good reasoning behind it. And I think that with this, the PirateSoftware stuff, the reasoning is, well, you spoke about it at the start and you defended him and you chastised another player there strongly, refusing to let them come on stream, and then you didn't cover anything else, or from what I understand, or the other stuff that was more damning you didn't get into. That, I think, is a reasonable criticism. But not, you've got to cover the content nuke. I don't think he's got any obligation to cover the content nuke, from what I can see.
So anyway, so I heard that he was like having this happen. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. I've been through this before. But it does seem like
Chud acting like PirateSoftware, refusing to take an L on the acronym and initialism isn't as clear as chat made it seem. This is a disputed area, whereas acronym is the proper term historically. I got no idea what you're talking about.
it does seem like with some of these things that it is very unlikely that he came to this conclusion by himself.
Exactly. Fuck PirateSoftware.
But I haven't seen the 30-minute video.
No, dude,
I've got to watch that first.
I'm actually sick of him. I'm getting mad just thinking about him.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
Yo.
Well, he quit WoW.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad he quit WoW. Never come back. Listen, you worked on Blizzard. You worked in Blizzard for however many years. Played WoW for 10+ years. You can't even. I had more key bindings than you in that SM dungeon. Then you don't even bind level 1 Blizzard.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, even if there's some other analysis of this, PirateSoftware looked at something that proved him wrong, and clearly he thought he was wrong because later he acted like it was no big deal and they shouldn't be chatting about it again.
Bro, you're a scrub. Get out.
So how did you feel? How did you feel when he was making fun of your mana management for not using Arcane Intellect?
You mean when he rebuffed Arcane Intellect with 20 minutes left? And then used evocation because I was out damaging him in that dungeon?
That's correct.
Just to try to gaslight me into thinking that I made a mistake when I actually didn't? Unbelievable. I literally hate this guy.
Wow. I mean, even if you didn't, you're basically new to WoW, so
I was a new player.
It'd be okay if you made a mistake.
So
there was another mage in the dungeon. Couldn't be me. Guess I'm the only mage here. Big guy, huh?
Oh, shit,
Big tough guy.
What's funny to me about this is that I thought you guys were just fucking around.
I thought so too. But then all this shit came out and I realized that he was serious.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It all came back because like I just 2 + 2. I have a really toxic chat, right? So typically all this shit, I just let it brush off.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, when people are being toxic, I usually just assume they're like bantering or fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like he's just
Bro, actually, I saw, like, it's difficult, dude. I cannot. It is extremely irritating when people try and dictate what you should and shouldn't cover unreasonably, right? So I don't want to put that on others, even though they're never going to hear this, right? I'm like, no, I think you've got to have a good argument for it, right? I do think that Asmongold is selective in terms of like the politics he'll talk about, right? Like he obviously is trying to placate a sort of Trump positive audience, and it feels like he will engage and talk about stuff that makes Trump look good, but won't about stuff that makes Trump look bad. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I know people call me a star machine and stuff like that. I get that. Yes, I'm a Labour voter. But it's like, you've got to be critical. Like, I've been critical of some of the aspects of what Starmer's done. Because it's like, if you're going to talk about it, you can't just talk about all the good stuff. You've got to talk about the bad stuff too. It just feels very dishonest to, never talk about the bad stuff and only focus on the good stuff, which I think is what Asmongold tends to do. English Chud. Voting for Labour is crazy, bro. Yes, I voted Labour. What's the problem? I love Muslims. I hate free speech. Okay? I want to stuff more into the country. Listen, it's fine. If you don't like it, it's fine. No problem. But anyway, that's not really the point. The point is that, you need to be honest.
It's just an ego narcissist that I don't know where this ego even comes from because he's trash.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually dog shit.
Is he bad at the game? Like I don't even really ever really pay attention.
Yes. Did you see? You saw the whole Dire Maul clip, right?
Yeah.
So literally like 3 or 4 hours later, I was in T1's group and we had a pool way deeper in the dungeon.
Wait, what? Dude, you can't be serious. Chud votes Labour and then cries about his nation's cost of living. I don't know if maybe at times I've pointed out issues. I don't think I've ever cried about my nation's cost of living. What the fuck do I care? I'm a streamer.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
I make enough money that I don't need to care about that shit. Thank you for the super chats. What do I care? Oh no, some poor people can't afford to eat because their benefits have gone down. The spending power of their benefits have gone down. Who fucking cares, dude? Unlucky. Get wrecked, motherfucker. Go to a food bank, you fucking loser.
Significantly more dangerous situation.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a pussy, and I played my class how I was supposed to be played.
I remember seeing the clip.
And then everyone lived.
Yeah.
And we survived.
Yeah.
And this bitch ass is wasting evocation because he has to rebuff arcane intellect with 20 minutes left.
So did you have any other interactions with him?
I guess there was like the whole dagger incident where like I rolled on his dagger in SM.
Hypnotic dagger, level 34.
Yeah, and then they started calling me Loot Kari, even though I needed the dagger. I used that dagger to level 60.
Loot Kari, bro.
Of course you would. Yeah, it's very...
Bro, dude, that's the thing. You get called Loot Kari, and it becomes a meme, and everyone laughs about it. It doesn't have to be this big deal. Even if it's not exactly correct, which in Pirate's case it is, he was a roach. God, it's just like, this is how you deal with it. You just have a laugh about it. That's it. And then it resolves a lot of the issues. You roll with the punches.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, you don't need that. You don't even have the offhand for it. I got an offhand for it afterwards.
Yeah, of course.
But he asked me, I shit you not, 3 hours he would not shut up about this dagger. 3 hours.
Hypnotic blade.
Yes, he kept talking about it. And the only reason why I rolled on it was because I thought it was a low drop. Like my chat trolled me into thinking it was a low drop. But it was like
well, what did you have before then?
I had like some staff from, I think it was like, was it Whale? Not Whale. Yeah, I think Whaling Caverns. The blue staff from Whaling Caverns, I think.
That's a relatively good one. But like if you had that or Brimstone staff, Hypnotic blade is like a massive upgrade.
Yeah, because it's the first item with spell power.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it has added spell damage, and that's something that's very good for mages, right? Especially if you're doing AoE farming.
Yeah.
Because like you're min-maxing your damage, whereas like intellect doesn't really matter as much because you're never really going to exhaust your mana bar.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I don't know if this is true, but what he said was that the scaling for spell power on AoE isn't that good.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's better than 0.
Yeah, it still helps.
Yeah.
And also, it's not like I only AoE. I have to single target sometimes too.
Yeah, you have to finish the mobs off and everything like that.
And that helps, yeah.
No, it's silly to say.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also, like, the reason why AoE spell scaling is different is because you're, like, basically, like, you're taking one number and you're spreading it across 5 numbers, right? So, like, if you have +5 spell damage and it does +2 for every single different hit, and there's 5 hits, that's +10,
okay,
right? Whereas with +5 to a base frostbolt, there's only 5 extra damage, right? Like, logically, actually plus spell damage is useful. It's very useful. But
Thank you, Asmund.
That's how the math works.
I'm glad I'm not, dude.
Yeah, bro, it's so true, isn't it? Asmund trying to sound smart when he is an actual regard and sided with Pirate. In the light of everyone, all the top WoW players were like maybe critical of other performances, but were definitely critical of Pirate. Like my boy Grubby. My lad Grubby. Grubby was on one. Sub to the grub, ladies and gentlemen. Grubby absolutely nailed it.
I just, you have to understand why I'm so mad. I just feel like this piece of shit just gaslit the shit out of me because he's like, I'm a Blizzard employee. I understand the backlogs of World of Warcraft inside and out. I helped develop this game. I made it. I was just, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't know. Oh God, I'm glad I was able to get that out.
I feel like most from the developers of games that
Go on, Lolikari.
They're always like really good at a game, but never like the best.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like that's kind of normal.
Except for
like
Diablo.
But I haven't met a dev who has like that kind of ego where they think they're the best.
Yeah.
So.
Except for the Diablo 4 devs.
D4 bad.
Yeah, they're just fucking garbage at the game. And it's not even remotely close. But like I remember, because it was so cool though, because like in Final Fantasy 16, so you know Maximilian, dude?
Yeah.
So he did an event with like, basically they had him try this boss. And then they had this guy who was like the combat designer for Final Fantasy 16. And he used to work on Devil May Cry. And he did the boss, fucking one-shot the boss flawlessly. It was so fucking badass, right?
Yeah. No,
it was so cool.
Really hard.
He was a fucking gamer. Yeah. And like, did you guys, like, he basically at the end of it, he didn't even kill the boss because he wanted to wait to use the ultimate attack to kill the boss.
Yeah. I remember he showed off the parry and stuff too.
Yeah, he did. Cool, like, as soon as the fight started, the first attack the boss
Wait, you think this is intentional? I'm not seeing it that. You reckon as we got us talking about other stuff to distract? Maybe, maybe, possibly. Very, very sneaky behavior. Very roach-like behavior.
That he insta-parried it perfectly.
That's
and
why I
everybody's
bought the game,
oh,
honestly.
shit.
Because I saw like
that was so fucking bad.
Pirate race war harasses armed black man. Okay, that's crazy. But thank you for the super chat.
Badass. And so there are devs that are good at the game, but to be fair, PirateSoftware was never a dev. He was not a dev on the game, as far as I know. He wasn't. I think that he worked in customer service or in.
What? Wait, really?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It's something surrounding that. Yeah. Like as a GM, kind of. I think that's what he did.
Oh, like
he was a game
community
master.
manager type of thing?
Well, no, not necessarily. A community manager is like it's like a public facing role, and he didn't have a public facing role. He was just like
a GM's like an in-game mod.
yeah, it's an in-game mod basically.
So like maybe one of those people that like deals with like bands or like on
like restoring items. Like oh, I bought the wrong helmet.
Yeah. From what I understand, he was in the QA department or something. He obviously presents himself as meaningfully working on developing the game. In lots of the stuff he says, but that's not, as far as I understand it, what the situation was. So yeah, just an endless thing of over-representing what he's done in his career. Classic PirateSoftware.
Can I get another one? And that's, here he comes, solving this problem.
Yeah.
That's it. And so, yeah, I thought that's what he did. Maybe that's not the case, but that was my understanding at least. But yeah, no, it's crazy to see how mad people got with him. Like, they were so mad.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was always like, his community's so chill.
Yeah.
Like, I guess like a lot of people like harbored some resentment for him or something.
A lot of
people were
Malders.
looking for a reason to hate him.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys where people were just waiting for a reason. And yeah, it was crazy to watch it happen. Like, I kind of felt bad for him, and I think that...
But then it's like, people were waiting for a reason to hate him. But for me, it's like, I take that a step further and say, well, is that legitimate or not? Why? Well, the reason is, and obviously they're not going to get into it, it's his history of dishonesty, lying, not being able to take an L, all this stuff that people are finding about the shorts that he's done, the things that he said that aren't true. Like, it's his own doing. It's his own behavior that has led to this. And people were just kind of, I think people, look, don't get me wrong, I definitely did this, but capitalizing on the opportunity to go after him when he was doing something that is unquestionably wrong, that everyone could see clearly. That's the thing. People were waiting for that moment, I think. Because some of it is like difficult to really get it across. It's like, oh, he lied about the Mr. Robot puzzle. It's like, okay. But when it's like on a stream, clearly doing something wrong, and then just tripling down, not admitting fault, acting like a lolcow, it was clear, and you could not deny it,
Like, people do kind of go overboard, but I haven't watched the Animal Well playthrough, and so I just, like, to me, I find all this stuff entertaining. Like, people with big egos and stuff like that.
It's really not that serious.
Yeah, like, I don't really take offense to it, because it's like, I'm, like, very confident in, like, where I'm at. So if somebody is, like, rude to me or obnoxious, I'm just like, okay. That's cute. That's nice.
I mean,
Hey,
sorry for zoning out a bit earlier, but my God, like, fuck PirateSoftware. I'm just going to tell you right now. He did it to himself. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He did it to himself.
Yes.
Have some humility, my man.
Well, I think, like, I mean, if you fake being good at a puzzle game, I feel like the intention of that is very clearly to make people think that you're really smart.
Yeah,
exactly.
Lolikari's locked in.
Why? I mean, I feel like the smartest
people take him more seriously.
The thing is, the smartest people never say they're smart. The smartest people will always say, I feel like I don't know that, or like they can admit that they don't know something.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the most intelligent people that I know, right?
Oh yeah.
They don't think they're smart.
Yeah.
Right? They're not insecure about.
Yeah.
Lakari wants PirateSoftware's head on a pike. Clearly.
Smart, so they're not afraid to look stupid sometimes.
And also, when you're like PirateSoftware, I mean, hey, I kind of understand why he hasn't bound half of his keys in WoW, because if you have an ego that size, you're never going to want to get better at the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think you're the best. If you think you're the best, then why would you change?
That's actually a really good point. I like that.
Yeah. It's just like, it's just ridiculous. It's not only does it hurt the people you're playing with, his party members who died in that dungeon, but it
Yeah.
also hurts himself in the end.
Yeah.
'Cause he just will never improve.
You put a ceiling on your abilities when you can't admit mistakes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely. I think that's just what happens with any game. And speaking of dumb people, did you guys see that Genshin is going to be regulated now?
Oh, moving the topic on as well. I reckon Lucari had more heat, didn't he? Can you blame him? That's generational trauma. KD. Oh. Anyway, guys, I could probably go up to the end of the stream in 45 minutes talking about Pirate Software, but I've run out of Pirate Software stuff. I think I've covered every angle I can conceive of this.